Hey guys, so I was really inspired by this Bobbi Brown Camel shadow. I just wanted to film this, and if you want to see how to get this look, just keep watching. First thing I'm going to do here is just moisturize my lips. My favorite thing is the Sugar Rosé. It's by Fresh. It is tinted, but I feel like it's just the most moisturizing. Then I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water for my primer. So now for foundation. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match in the shade W6. This is my favorite foundation. I actually use this foundation every single day. So, just gonna, sorry I keep looking in the viewfinder. I need a mirror. So I'm just gonna take this beauty blender and I'm gonna blend it all in. For concealer, most of the time I use the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I feel in the summertime it's a little too heavy for me for my preference. So instead I use the MAC Select Cover Up in NW20. It's the same thing, but it's a water-based formula. So I'm just going to put that underneath my eyes here. I'll just take that into triangles underneath my eye. You all know that trick. I'm going to take some leftover and put it right there around my nose where I get red. Hormonally, us women do that. Then I just blend that in with dabbing motions as I'm looking up. And if you hear a dog snoring in the background, that is my dog Kool-Aid. He is an English Bulldog. He is ornery and he does what he wants. And he snores when he sleeps. Bad, so if you hear anything, that's what that is. Okay, so now I'm going to set everything, and I'm actually going to use this Real Techniques. It's a Real Techniques setting brush. I want to set my under eyes almost immediately because I don't want them creasing. And now I'm going to actually warm up the face. It is the Pericone MD No Bronzer Bronzer, and it's just a liquid formula. And I'll just show you how it comes in a little dropper thing. So I literally don't use a whole lot. I drop like a drop out, and then I'll take like an edge and then just kind of blend it like that onto my hand, and then I'll just take it into the hollows of the cheeks, around onto the temples, on the forehead. Now I'm going to set my entire face, and I'm going to use the La Mer Skin Color de La Mer. Is this translucent? This is the powder neutral, and like I said, it's La Mer. I don't know. There we go. So I'm just going to use this to set my whole face. This is kind of it is a high-end powder, and honestly, I've had this for I don't know how long. So I'm just going to set my whole foundation with this. Once I've done that, I'm actually going to now I forgot to prime my eyelids. I'm all over the place today, so I'm going to go ahead and prime these eyelids. And I'm using the Mica Beauty Cosmetics eye primer. This came in a BoxyCharm, the monthly subscription box. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Only because my eyelids are very, very veiny. If I don't do this, then I feel like the eyeshadows don't lay as nicely. It's like painting a wall without priming it first. So, oh, sorry. I'm going to set that eye primer with the Loreal Pro 2 palette, the gray one. And I've been really into just taking this buff shade and sweeping it all over the lid once I've primed. And I feel like it really locks that primer there. That way it doesn't crease. Kind of like your under eye, same concept. So I'm just going to sweep this buff shade all over the lid from the down here all the way to the brow bone. Now I'm going to warm up the face. I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, the contour. I use this shade Leery, or to set my under eyes, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but. And I'm going to use a Sigma large powder brush. Excuse me. The F30. And I'm going to dab into this middle shade here, Shadow Play. It's a little bit more warm, so I just dip into that, tap off the excess, and then I just kind of go in, I don't know if you've ever heard of the 3 motion. So like you'll take a 3, so there's the 3, you see. I like to, I don't know, I just like bringing life back to my face before I go in and contour or anything like that. I love bronzer, so I could really just sit here and do this all day. So once that is done, I will contour my nose, and if I'm going to chisel out my cheekbones that particular day, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll use the Nars Ita brush and the shade Subconscious in the Shade and Light palette. You see, this is the bronzer that I use to warm up my face. That is just a very warm tone bronzer. And then this is very, very cool tone, meaning that the undertones in this bronzer is more of a gray, which gives you that shadow. When you contour, the point of it is to create that shadow instead of looking like, oh, she's got powder on her face. You want to chisel out those cheekbones, and you want it to appear as if you have a shadow there, which is what gives you that contour or that chiseled cheekbone look. I'm just going to take this Nars Ita brush and, let me not look in the viewfinder, and contour my nose. I don't know, I feel like I don't really necessarily need to contour my nose, but for some reason I do. So I just take it on each side and then blend it out. I'm going to chisel off these cheekbones with this Nars Ita brush. Same shade from the Kat Von D palette, the Subconscious. And I'm just going to, trying to get it as dead on. About right there. And I don't bring that, when you're contouring, you don't want to bring your contour all the way down to the corner of your mouth. I like to stop like right here. I'm not bringing it all the way down to my smile line. I've seen people do that and it's not very complimentary. Now I'm going to bake, which is the new popular thing, and I'm still using the Kat Von D Shade Light palette, and I'm using the shade Levitation, which it's basically where you just take a lot of powder and you let it sit right underneath where I just contoured, and you just let it sit so it locks your contour in place. Okay, so you see how that looks. Okay, so while that is baking and setting in place, I'm going to do my blush, and I have been obsessed with this blush. It is by Milani. It's from the drugstore. It's the Tea Rose powder blush. I'm obsessed with this color. I don't know, something about it with bronzer, it just gives me life. So let me just get my mirror here, and I'm going to be using a Sigma large angled contour brush, the F40. I like this for blush. I'm just going to dab it in there. I was trying to see if this is picking up because, homegirl, this blush is beautiful. It's just so pretty. It gives like the most alive looking, it gives the most alive looking appearance. I'm looking in the viewfinder because it's just so pretty. Okay, so there's that. I just adore how that looks. Yes. Go back to the baking thing that we've got going on here. I'm going to be using a duo fiber brush, the F50 by Sigma, and I just take this and basically dust off that powder. I am no pro when it comes to contouring and all that. I just do what works for me. I'm a little more tan than I was last time I did my makeup, so this highlight be looking a little light for me. So I may just go back Excuse me. I may go over it with some, just to tone it down, just a smidge. So for the eyes, I'm going to take the Shadow Glow by ColourPop with a Sigma Concealer F70 brush, and I'm going to put that right underneath my brow bone. As a brow highlight. Just going to kind of blend that out a little bit with my finger. I'm going to take that same glow shade and with my finger put it into the inner corner here. Oh. And now for the star of the show, the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Camel. I'm going to take this on a fluffy brush, Sigma E40, and I'm just going to put that into the crease here. I'm just using back and forth and circular motions just to help everything look very, very blended. Okay, then I'm going to take the Sigma brush E34. It's like a domed utility brush, and I'm going to put that into this outer corner just to deepen it up and give it a little bit more dimension. And now I'm going to take a Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm going to dip it into that same Camel shade, and I'm just going to blend that outer corner out so it doesn't look so heavy. It looks a little bit more seamless. With still having dimension in that right over here in the outer corner. Then I'm going to take some of that along the lower lash line with this flat shader brush. I don't know where it's from, who it's from. I've had it for forever. So I'm just going to take that all along the lower lash line. And I'm going to do my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown. I've got big brows, so I just kind of fill them in. I really don't draw them. I like them to be natural, but I just fill in the sparse hairs. So now that we got the brows done, I'm going to do a winged liner. I'm going to use the Loreal Carbon Black Lineur Intense. It's a felt tip, it's liquid. I like taking it all the way into the inner corner. Oops. And then just winging it out. I'm gonna take some eyeliner to tightline with. It is the Revlon Luxurious color. Wait. Yeah, Revlon. I don't know. Looks like this. And I'm just gonna tightline with that. Just on the upper. I find that this makes your eyelashes look a little thicker. And then I'm going to do my highlight. And I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. I'm just gonna touch the tops of my cheeks. Whew. Intense. My friends, intense. And now I'm going to do my lips. I'm going to line them with MAC Whirl lip liner. And I'll kind of fill them in. And then I'm using Maybeline, the Nude Creamy Mattes in Nude Nuance. And I'm going to add some mascara, which I'm going to be using the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. So I was very inspired by this Bobbi Brown, and I've been wearing this to work, and I feel like every time I wear it, it's very simple. I get a lot of compliments, and I feel like it's really classy. So I just wanted to jump on here and show it. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh shit. I didn't use my other primer. Oh well. I was gonna try out I just got the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in the Pore Minimizing, and I was gonna use that and I forgot. Oh well. So, ooh, that's too much. Well, I used too much, so go figure that. Foundation is too like Kool-Aid, especially if I found Kool-Aid snoring still. This is more of a, I don't know, more of a white, I guess. Please excuse my nails, too. And not a pin.